So the Fever just stole one of the biggest and most important players for the Aces over the last couple of years. The Fever literally just stole her from the Aces. And you might be saying, oh, she was a free agent. No. Hey, like, genuinely, the they basically stole the Aces' backup point guard. And if you guys don't know about Sydney Colson, again, I'll always say this about players. People do not understand career bench players, how important they are. Players that, if they give you 2 minutes or give you 30 minutes, are going to give you the same effort, as well as the fact she's a lockdown defender and she can kind of sometimes hit the 3-ball. But anyway, before we get on to that though, you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 42,700 subscribers by the end of the day. I think we might be able to do that. We are exactly 33 off. But anyway, Sydney Colson. So according to Callie Finn, questions about how Sydney Colson moved to the Fever developed were directed to the Aces front office, which will not comment until Indiana makes a formal announcement. Wrote in a previous story, the salary cap situation in Vegas is tight, so we'll see what's next. And by the way, unless she signs a literal minimum contract, if she signs 1 cent over a minimum contract, the Fever need to make a move or start season with 11 players. But this is what Sydney Colson has previously said. Sydney Colson has said, return to the Aces is what makes sense for her career, but she doesn't know if it's a sure thing. I've never been in a situation it's guaranteed that I'm going back the following season. So I put confidence in God, but absolutely, I want to be back to the Aces. Colson, who considered retiring in 2022, averaged 8 minutes per game this season, double the amount of time she saw last season, averaged 2.5 points. She feels like she gained more of a coach Becky Hammond's trust this year, which should bode well for potential return. I'm a young vet, she said, alluding to the fact that she missed the 2012 through 2014 seasons and played overseas, having been cut from WNBA teams. Although she's a second-round draft pick in 2011, this is just her 10th season in the league. And I don't think people realize, again, just how important this is. Because with the Indiana Fever, you need players like this. You need championship experience. And heck, everyone seems to be blindsided by this one. This was a shock. This was a huge shock to literally everyone. And the fact that the Fever, she probably signed the literal minimum. That there's no way that the Aces are cut, that the Aces wouldn't want to keep her. Because the Aces literally were playing her over Kate Martin last year. She was getting burned in the playoffs. She had a huge, and I mean huge game 4 of the finals in 2023. She is a huge reason for why this for why the Indiana Fever, the Las Vegas Aces won the 2023 WNBA championship. If you look at her in the playoffs, she played 15 minutes and in that game 4. And on the floor, I get a plus minus. People overvalue the plus minus stat, but she was still plus 17. She was plus 17 in the biggest game of her season. If you look at this game, this is a 1-point game. A 1-point game where Sydney Colson's 15 minutes was a plus 17 in a game with no Chelsea Gray. They started Kelsey Plum at the point, and Kelsey Plum was having a nightmare of a game. Jackie Young was -3. They started Kayla George, but it was Sydney Colson who played 14 big minutes. 14 big minutes, and that is what was the difference. She only took 1 shot, sure, but in plus 17. Everybody else in the team -7 for Kirsten Bell. How Kirsten Bell got on in Game 4 of the finals, I don't know. 1 point for Kelsey Plum. -3 for, plus 1 for Kelsey Plum. +1 for Aja Wilson. +1 for Kayla George. -5 for Alicia Clark. This was an Aces team that was down Kia Stokes, down Candice Parker, down Chelsea Gray, and they managed to win the game based a lot of, I forgot how bad Stewie was in that game, based a lot off Sydney Colson. So there's no way for just a end of the bench vet minimum player that the Aces would let Sydney Colson go. There's no way. There's no way they would just let her walk. And now, you've got a situation where the Aces now have to find a backup point guard. Not only that, because the Aces play Chelsea Gray a lot of minutes, and Jackie Young can play a little bit at the point. But Kelsey Plum can't be your backup point guard anymore because she's not there. Jewel Lloyd's not there. So you're going to find a backup point guard with no money. Like, the Aces literally have like, what, 2/3 of their salary, or not 2/3. How much is it? Like, because Jewel Lloyd has signed to Supermax, 250k. Chelsea Gray is on 200, Age is on 200, and Jackie Young's on 250k. So you have got 900 of 1.5 million tied down to 4 players. Like, you have 600k, because it's a hard cap. You cannot sign, and Kia Stokes is on 100k. You literally have to just fill out the rest of the team with minimum contracts. It's the only way the Aces can survive. And the fact is that they're going to be replacing a minimum contract Sydney Colson with someone else in minimum contract is probably not going to do what Sydney Colson can do. It seems to be so reliant on that starting 5. Putting her kind of at the end of the bench. And even if you want to say, you know, with that 13th pick, draft a Sanaya Rivers, having Sydney Colson there to go with Sanaya Rivers, if Sanaya Rivers doesn't work out, is a huge thing. But, like, the Aces losing out on Sydney Colson, I don't know how. I literally don't know how. From what I've heard, it's like the like young core plus vets, and she feels like she's got a better chance of winning a championship or got a great chance of winning a championship in Indiana. But I don't understand how people think the Las Vegas Aces are championship contenders. I don't get it. They're not championship contenders. It's not a knock at Aja Wilson or Jackie Young. They're both exceptional. But, like, you've got the least efficient 2 guard in the entire WNBA, the 6th best point guard, the worst starting center. You do have the best starting power forward in the league, in fairness. Maybe you don't. Fee Collier. You got one of the 2 best players. You got one of the two or 3 best players in the world. Arguably the best. And you've got Jackie Young, who's a top 10 player. Chelsea Gray, who's around the 35th best player in the W. Jewel Lloyd, who on her day is a top 15 player, and not on her day is a negative asset. And no bench. Like, Meg Gustafson's still on 100k as well. So you don't have any money. You don't have any money because you don't have anyone on rookie deals other than Liz Kitley. Like, you also took on 50k extra in salary for getting rid of Kelsey Plum. Like, oh, it's just a mad situation. And the fact that the icing on the cake is the fact that Fever stole your backup point guard. And again, people do not understand. If you do not understand if you never played like high level basketball, you do not understand the purpose of the career bench player. The career bench player who is, again, a hustle player that will do whatever they can and give you the most of their minutes. They are serious players. And I know a lot of people undervalue them, but I'm telling you, the career bench players are important. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.